Welcome back to the boxing show. Well, Joshua Buatsi has quickly gathered a big reputation. He's impressed many, and none more so than his manager, Anthony Joshua, has his eye on an all-London battle with top contender Anthony Yarde.
As a fan, 100% I'd like that. You know, you've got the lion in Yarde and you've got the wolf, the lone wolf in Buatsi. It's the meat of the jungle, you know. I think it's two wild animals coming together to slug it out. One's an Olympian, one's East London born, bred fighter from the Peacock Gym. Like, so different. It's kind of like me and Dylan. I was the Olympian, went down that route. Dylan was South London, bred fighter, rough, and same contrast, and it made a great fight. So I believe in Buatsi. I know he's very talented, but he just had to step his game up because Yarde went to the world level against Kovalev. He got beat, but that experience does something to you anyway, providing you don't lose the hunger.
With Buatsi, there's a phrase, isn't there? Don't mistake kindness for a weakness. He's so humble and respectful, but as soon as that bell goes, he seems to be the choir boy's long gone. Is that the
rap battle? The rap battle artist comes out.
Is that the Joshua Buatsi that you know?
I only know, remember, we're not in the same division, so I haven't got no beef with Buatsi. So I don't know Buatsi for the hard-headed fighter, but I know Buatsi for the man he is, and he gives me advice as well. For like before my fights, he reaches out to me. I think with Buatsi, why he'll do great things in boxing, because his belief in God, like, he has a reason, and his reason's bigger than boxing. So what I believe is that through boxing, he'll use his platform to go on and do great things after. That rugged edge is only to fulfill his destiny and purpose, and he has to do it through fighting.
Great to hear from Anthony Joshua there. So Joshua, your manager, AJ, he wants to see this fight with you and Anthony Yarde. Would you want it? There seems to be quite a bit of respect between you two.
Yeah, no, Yarde is cool, man. I've seen him a few times. We circled to each other. I'll tell you what, I saw Yarde. Drake performed at the O2 maybe a year ago, and the show had finished. So you can imagine there's thousands of people outside. So I went with my little sister. So I was walking, and in the midst of the thousands of people, we crossed paths, and we just started laughing because I was thinking, what are the chances that I'm going to bump into you here when there's thousands of people after the show? We laughed. We said, listen, one day this could be us fighting here. You know, touched hands, and that was it. We said, see you later. And there's no need or anything, but it's a fight that people have spoken about for ages, Anna. So, and you know, Yarde feels he's number one in the country. I thought, you know what, I'm number one in the country. And again, even let's bring Johnson in, he feels he's number one as well. So, you know, people feel that they're number one. So it's going to get to a point where we have to prove it. So I think it's heading that way, man.
Matt, so they both seem to think that they're number one. As with Callum Johnson, you know, Yarde's also had that world level experience when he fought Kovalev. Is it a fight you'd like to see?
Yeah, I think there's no doubt in Anthony Yarde's talent. He really stepped up to the plate against Kovalev. I think that the fear was that he hadn't had a sort of in-between level fight. He'd gone from beating guys that he was expected to beat comfortably and looked $1 million doing it, but it was a big jump against Kovalev, but he performed really, really well. Was probably one or two clean punches away from stopping Kovalev, and in the end ran out of steam and through exhaustion as much as anything. You know, Kovalev proving the good champion was, but I think Yarde certainly established himself and proved himself that night. He's very much in the mix. All guys will believe they're number one, and then legitimately so. They've all got a strong sort of point to argue. But we just hope, from the television point of view, from a fan point of view, that the fights get made and they don't fall by the wayside.
Joshua, I mean, you're 12-0 now. You've had an enforced period of inactivity, a bit of a frustrating time for you since your last fight last year. How are you reflecting on your progress so far? Are you happy with it?
I'm always grateful that I've had the 12 fights and I've won them. How do I reflect on it? Yeah, 12 fights, 12 wins. I want more. You know, like you said, I was injured. I was ill in November, so hence why I couldn't carry on. But yeah, I can't complain on them. And I've had 12, 1-12, and whatever's next is next. I can't take it for granted because there's people that were expected to win that didn't go on to win. But, you know, I can sit here today and say to you, look, I had 12 fights, I won the 12. I got 10 knockouts out of it. I came out safely. My opponents came out safely. Captured the British title, but I want more than that. So I'm not content at all. I'm grateful with what I've done, but I'm not content about it. Yeah.
Matt, with that time out of the ring and the enforced time out of the ring, how important do you think it is for Joshua to get that momentum back?
Yeah, that's the only thing his career has lacked, really, and it's of recent times, is that activity, that momentum. It's important that he fights. He's not one of these. He's not a Conor McGregor personality where he calls people out. He's not controversial. He's a gentleman. So I think his performances in the ring, his viciousness and tenacity inside the ropes, that's what's gonna shoot his profile up through the rankings. And I think so. It's crucial that he gets back out, gets fighting, stays busy. And I think he's kind of good to go now. I mean, he's such a good amateur pedigree. We know, we've seen him, his shot selection, his variety, he's compact, he's really economic. He fights like someone who's had a lot more than 12 fights. He really does fight beyond his years. I can't wait to see him fight again. And the same with Callum Johnson, very exciting fighter, Yard 2. These are three really world-class guys that I really hope get it on.
Callum, have you been keeping a close eye on Joshua, and where do you see you could exploit his weaknesses, do you think?
Well, like you say, I'm the same. I don't really watch a lot of fighters. If I told you I'd watched him, I'd be lying. I've seen bits and bobs and clips, and you hear things, but I believe he likes to stand and have a fight. He likes to have a bit of a fight, and he sometimes can leave himself open. So I'd be looking to exploit that. But obviously, I don't really look at fights unless I'm actually going to be fighting them. And if the fight gets made, or when it gets made, then I'll study him more. But until then, it's not something that I do.
Joshua, we heard Anthony Joshua say in that videotape about you being the nicest man outside, and then there's this switch flicks and you become this absolute demon in the ring. What happens? Where does that switch come from?
I think is what Matt said. You're not going to get the trash talking from me. So I think with me, when I'm in that ring, I think, okay, listen, you ain't been talking rubbish about people. You haven't been doing all the smack talk. So it's time to sell yourself. When I get in that ring and I say, do you know what? This is the canvas. The canvas for me is this is my sales pitch. I'm in here now. All eyes are on me. So sell yourself. Fight how you feel you should do. And if I'm honest with you, people like the violence, the viciousness, the aggression. People love all of that. So when I'm in that ring, I say to myself, this is time for me to sell myself. This is time for me to rise my stock. So when I get in there, I think everyone's got that side to them. Boxing just teaches you how to control it. So outside the ring, I'm a normal guy. I go through normal things that people go through. But in the ring, it's time to switch it on. And like I've said, it's you or them. Get them before they get you. And I tell myself, make sure you get him Buatsi before he gets you. So when the bell rings, I'm like, that's the target. So I think everyone would be the same in that scenario, but apparently it's a bit more evident with me, outside the ring and inside the ring. But if you don't get them, they get you, and it's a vicious sport that we're in, man.
You're managed by Anthony Joshua. What's the relationship between the two of you like, and how did it come about? Because I believe you were approached by Mayweather Jr. originally.
Yeah, so in the Olympics, Mayweather said, he gave me a number and he said, if you want to make more money, call this number. By this time, I was thinking, let me actually win the medal first. I'm going to call this number, but not yet. Came back to England, finished my degree, and Josh's management team, we got in touch with each other, and I liked what they were about. A very small team, but efficient team. They've done a very good job with myself, Lawrence Okoli, Ram Ali, Suleiman Sissoko from France. They're doing a good job with all of us, so I'm happy where I am with there. So in that aspect, Josh has put a team together that manages us. In terms of relationship with Josh, it's like a phone call. Bro, this is the situation that I'm in. What do you think about it? What would you do? Again, I'll see what he's doing, and then I'll be like, okay, explain to me why that works, or why you made this decision, or why you didn't make it. And then there's things off the record that we talk about as well. That's not boxing related. So as always, it's good to get advice from people, but it's better advice when you're talking to someone that's been there and done it. You know, I could tell you about swimming. I could tell you, oh, just don't drown, do this, do that. But the truth is, I can't even swim. So what am I talking to you about swimming? Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense. So if you're talking to Michael Phelps, who can swim, then you're getting the best advice. That's kind of how I see it.
I don't know if you remember, Joshua, but that first, you worked on a show with us and you did an overnight with us, and we were talking about avocados, and you didn't know what an avocado was, but now you do.
Imagine that. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Yeah, imagine that. So, there's a lot of things that I don't know, but, you know, you talk to the people that know about it, and that's how you move.
Yeah.